Not everything that you read online is true, and I'm here to prove it. Take a popular online encyclopedia like Wikipedia that some people reference. Listen up. It might not be the most accurate, sorry.
Hi, I'm Dr. Becca, the mom of Laker, who's in charge of the food and the lecture series, empowering other mothers when something seems off with their children, sharing mindset work when it comes to parenting, medicine, the understandable, and mastery of your child and who that child is when they have food intolerances, feeding challenges, symptoms of reflux, or other of your concerns. You heard that I'm a family doctor, a feeding reflux physician, a life coach, a nutritionist, and best-selling author. But if you ask me, I will tell you that I'm just your friend. Just remember that this information is being shared for educational purposes only, and some of it is opinion-based. If you have specific medical concerns, please see your regular doctor.
Many of you will agree with me that food allergies can affect young children. Well, anyway, I looked up the food allergy known as FPIES, or food protein-induced enterocolitis syndrome, on Wikipedia. Do you know what I read? Just in the first 2 paragraphs alone, there was misinformation, like really misinformation. First, the article said that FPIES is triggered by birch pollen. Second, the Wikipedia article went on to say that FPIES is a variant of oral allergy syndrome. Now, mind you, this was only in the first paragraph. Just in case you are curious, no, FPIES is not triggered by birch pollen, and no, FPIES is not a variant of oral allergy syndrome. For me, these statements, especially the second one about FPIES being a variant of oral allergy syndrome, are so surprising and so unexpected. It is like saying that snow is made out of cookies. It is like saying that the earth is flat when we all know that our planet is a sphere. I was shocked by the degree of misinformation. I was shocked about how wrong I was in thinking that you could find some very accurate places on Wikipedia. And then I remembered what Wikipedia actually says about itself on its own website. Wikipedia is not a reliable source. You never know who is editing the material. That's right. What a true statement. Thanks for the reminder, Wikipedia. Have any of you had this dream fantasy of Wikipedia being an online encyclopedia that is full of accuracies? Perhaps you thought that it had a team of individuals who could validate the information. Even if Wikipedia did not have a team, perhaps you thought that big-name allergists in the field of food allergies would look up what was written about this diagnosis on Wikipedia and correct any misinformation. After all, it's not that hard to change a Wikipedia article. Perhaps you also hoped that no one would then go back and edit what the big-name person in the field of food allergies said. Perhaps you hoped that no one would offer additional inaccuracies or additional inaccurate edits afterwards. If you thought this, you might be wrong. You would be just like me. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I was shocked about how wrong I was and how correct Wikipedia was in its statement that it's not a reliable source. I should have looked previously about what Wikipedia said about FPIES. Imagine a person who has relied mostly on Wikipedia for their medical information. Gosh, with their head full of inaccurate information that they think is accurate, what kind of possible trouble could they get themselves into? With knowing inaccurate information and then using these inaccuracies to guide diagnosis and treat them, hurt them, or their child? I fear the answer to this question. In the case of FPIES, the inaccurate information just couldn't be. I was worried what harm might come out of sharing inaccuracies about a significant medical disease. I went ahead and fixed the article. I'm glad that I was able to go through the article and correct it, at least for the time being, until other individuals make other edits that are outside my area of control. I'm okay with how the new Wikipedia article about FPIES looks at this moment. However, who is to say how long the article will stay accurate? After all, anyone can go ahead and edit the information after me. This experience got me thinking about how people look for information. You tell me, have you looked at you or your child's various symptoms and turned to an online search engine like Google? Have you tried to look at Wikipedia and learn about potential medical diagnosis there? It's okay. I have been guilty of that too. I've used Wikipedia to look up what elderberry looks like after learning that it can contribute to a cytokine storm in someone who has COVID-19. I didn't want to take anything that could potentially increase my chances of the cytokine storm. However, I wanted to be pretty sure that I knew how to identify elderberry. And let me tell you, there aren't enough pictures. According to the few pictures that I found, elderberries look somewhat like raisins. Or do they? That's the concern. Not everything that you look up online is as it appears. When you're looking for medical information, you might stumble across sources that do more harm than good. So where are some better places to look for information instead? Where can you verify what you have learned online? One place is a doctor's office. How about other places? We will discuss them in the next episode. My hope is to give you research-based answers that are full of medical accuracy.